Chaos at Moscow airports. Ukrainian drone attacks disrupt flights. In a dramatic turn of events, significant drone strikes from Ukraine have thrown Moscow's airports into disarray. On Monday, July 21, 2025, reports from Russian media revealed that these attacks led to extensive chaos at the major airports serving the capital, leaving thousands of travelers stranded, some even resorting to sleeping on the floors as they faced numerous flight cancellations and delays. Footage shared by Russian news outlets depicted scenes of weary passengers sprawled on the ground at Sheremetyevo airport, which is the busiest in Russia in terms of passenger traffic, as they waited in long lines for assistance. The Russian Ministry of Defense announced that they successfully intercepted 117 drones overnight, including 30 that were targeted over the Moscow area. This followed a previous day where they claimed to have downed 172 drones, again with 30 over the same region. In response to the escalating situation, Rosaviatsia, Russia's civil aviation authority, temporarily imposed flight restrictions at Moscow's primary airports, which include Sheremetyevo, Vnukovo, Domodedovo, and Zhukovsky. The impact of these cancellations was felt far beyond Moscow, as several thousand individuals found themselves stranded in the far eastern parts of Russia. To alleviate the situation, additional train services were arranged to transport passengers back to Moscow from St. Petersburg, a major city in the north. It's important to note that the Moscow metropolitan area is home to over 21.5 million residents, making the implications of such disruptions significant. This situation raises many questions about the ongoing conflict and its effects on civilian life. How do you think these drone attacks will influence public perception of safety in air travel? And what are your thoughts on the effectiveness of the measures taken by the Russian authorities? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments below. Major aerial attack on Kyiv, what you need to know. In a shocking escalation of hostilities, Russia has launched one of its most significant aerial offensives against Ukraine in recent months, striking Kyiv just hours before a crucial meeting led by the UK and Germany to discuss US President Donald Trump's initiative for NATO allies to supply military support to Ukraine. This attack, which resulted in the tragic loss of 2 lives and left 15 others injured, including a 12-year-old child, highlights the dire situation Ukraine faces in securing additional military assistance from Western nations, particularly in terms of air defense capabilities. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky emphasized the urgency of the situation following the drone and missile strikes that occurred overnight into Monday. These assaults serve as a stark reminder of the pressing need for enhanced military support, especially after Trump indicated that weapon deliveries would commence within days. The upcoming virtual meeting, set to be chaired by British Defense Secretary John Healey and his German counterpart Boris Pistorius, will also include key figures such as U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and NATO leader Mark Rutte, along with NATO's Supreme Allied Commander Europe, General Alexis Grinkwich. This gathering of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group is critical as Moscow has ramped up its long-range attacks on Ukrainian cities, with analysts predicting that these barrages will intensify as Russia increases its drone production capabilities. In a notable shift in rhetoric, the U.S. president recently issued a 50-day ultimatum to Russia, demanding a ceasefire or facing more stringent sanctions. During Monday's discussions, Healey is expected to advocate for a simultaneous 50-day drive among Ukraine's Western allies to expedite the delivery of necessary weaponry to help Kyiv counter Russia's larger military forces and compel President Vladimir Putin to engage in negotiations. Trump's arms initiative, revealed a week ago, involves European nations facilitating the transfer of American weapons to Ukraine through NATO, either from existing stockpiles or by purchasing and donating new equipment. The focus of these discussions has included advanced Patriot air defense systems, with Trump asserting that deliveries would begin within days. However, various senior officials have indicated that no transfers have yet occurred. NATO's Grinkwich confirmed that preparations for weapon transfers to Ukraine are in progress, although U.S. Ambassador to NATO Matthew Whitaker could not provide a specific timeline. Germany has pledged to finance 2 new Patriot systems for Ukraine and is considering supplying systems it currently possesses, which would then be replaced by the U.S. However, the delivery of these systems may take time, as noted by MERS, who explained that the logistics of transportation and setup could extend the timeline from hours to potentially weeks. Additionally, Switzerland's defense ministry announced that it would prioritize the delivery of 5 previously ordered Patriot systems to support Ukraine. While Ukraine awaits the arrival of these critical air defense systems, a senior NATO official revealed that the alliance is still coordinating the provision of other military assistance, including ammunition and artillery rounds, which had briefly been paused. This official spoke on the condition of anonymity due to the sensitive nature of the discussions. Zelensky has indicated that his administration is proposing a new round of peace talks this week. However, Russian state media reported that no specific date has been established for these negotiations, although Istanbul is likely to remain the host city. The Kremlin spokesperson reiterated that while Russia is open to peace discussions with Ukraine, achieving its strategic objectives remains a top priority. The overnight assault on Kyiv commenced shortly after midnight and persisted until around 6 a.m., with residents enduring the sounds of machine gun fire, buzzing drones, and multiple explosions. In one district of Kyiv, a kindergarten, a supermarket, and warehouse facilities were set ablaze as a result of the attacks. This marks the first significant assault on Kyiv since the arrival of Trump's special envoy to Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, who visited the city last Monday, during which Russia had temporarily ceased its strikes. Ukraine's Air Force reported that Russia launched 426 Shahid and decoy drones, along with 24 missiles of various types, during the overnight assault, managing to intercept 200 drones while 203 others were jammed or lost from radar detection.